10 Mile Creek in Montgomery County, Maryland, is the last best stream in the county. It flows swift and clean and is teeming with aquatic life. It deserves protection.
10 Mile Creek is in Montgomery County, Maryland, and it is the last pristine creek located near the Agricultural Reserve and close to Clarksburg, away from the developed areas such as Rockville, Bethesda, and Silver Spring. The goal of good planning is to concentrate development in an already urban area. Last year, the Montgomery County Planning Board decided to limit the amount of construction and impervious surfaces allowed in the next stage of Clarksburg's development. After protecting 10 Mile Creek from construction, the battle begins again with WSSC, a company that plans to put sewer systems in the creek.
Now that we've limited the development, what do we do about supplying that development with sewer? How you sewer is going to be how well the creek withstands it. If you put sewer pumping stations and tanks in the middle of the creek, it doesn't take a genius to figure out at some point it's going to leak, and you can say goodbye to the quality of that creek.
For this lake behind me, which is an emergency water supply for all of metropolitan Washington.
People should care because we're a part of nature, we're a part of the world around us, and I always tell students and kids that there's two reasons I care about my watershed. One is totally selfish. That's my drinking water. You know, that's the water that I bathe in and I cook in, and so keeping it clean is imperative to my life. The other one, not as selfish, is that the wildlife, the ecosystem, depends also on that water, and so what I do to it matters to them, and I care.
A place where there's clean water.
And I can bring my kids there and they can see it and they know what a creek is supposed to look like.
And I think that protecting it does more than just, affect its own ecosystem. I think it's more of a purpose too. Like in global, you're taught to basically fight for what you believe in, try to conserve the natural resources we have in this world.
It's a great place for us to take people to see wildlife that we don't see in the rest of the park.
It's somewhere really pretty and serene to go, and I think that building houses there would just take away from the serenity.
And huge amounts of diversity that you just don't find elsewhere in Montgomery County. Is there anybody who cares about the creek, who cares about clean water in our county, to get WSSC to find some way to sewer the new development that will not destroy the creek in the process?
We all have an impact, no matter what. And so we can choose to have an impact for the good or an impact for the not so good. So I would call people to action to always choose to make their impact as good or as kind of minimal as possible, wherever they are, whatever watershed they're living in. So.
I'm just an ordinary human.